let someone that you say you love find their own truth, their own happiness, and not chain them to yourself because you can't deal with rejection and your own demons. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel again, and today we're going to talk about the very new reality show on Netflix called The Ultimatum. At this point, I've only watched the show halfway, so I'll react accordingly. If I have any new thoughts later on, I'll let you guys know. I really highly recommend this show. Very interesting social experiment again from the same producers that did Love is Blind. And basically, it's 6 couples that all have already been dating each other about 2-3 years. And the premise is that one of the people in each couple wants a longer term commitment, namely marriage, and has issued via this show an ultimatum to their other partner who is unsure about getting married. The individuals in the couples then get an opportunity to sort of have a temporary 4-week break from their relationship and choose to date the other people from the other couples that they see potential with before coming back and living with their original partners again. And ultimately, they have to decide whether they want to leave the show being married to their original partner or leave the show with the new partner they met on the show or be single. I'm kind of nervous making this video because there's so much I can talk about and have an opinion on, and I don't even know where to start. But to not turn this into just me ranting, I've decided to use this video to share my thoughts on April's kind of big speech around the table when everyone was taking their turns announcing who they wanted to choose to date and live with for the next 3 weeks. And I've chosen to talk about what I think is real love and what it is to love in freedom rather than to love in fear. So what is real love? I've been thinking about this question all week actually, because this show came out sort of midweek, and then before that there was the whole Will Smith incident that got me thinking about Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, their marriage and their sort of implied open relationship setup. And the premise of this show, The Ultimatum, is to help these couples and the individuals in these couples to expedite the process of gaining clarity. And clarity means truth, and truth is not always pleasant. And this show is challenging, I think, all of us by asking, are we willing to set ourselves and our partners free to explore potential connections with other people in order to know whether you and they would choose each other again at the end of it all. And that is scary. I'm not disputing that it's not nerve-wracking. It's basically putting your relationship on a free fall and seeing if it survives at the end. And the argument is that if your love, your connection is real and there is underlying friendship there, then it should survive. And I have to say I agree with that. But there's a lot of people that are unwilling to take this risk, even within the show, because they're thinking, what if this relationship doesn't survive? And what if my partner ends up choosing someone else, preferring someone else? And I think the better questions to ask would be, firstly, what if you yourself prefer someone else? Like, what if it's not your partner, it's you going into this process and you realizing that actually I have needs that my current partner doesn't meet and I found this other person that meets them. And then the other thing would be, what does it mean to love someone? Wouldn't you want them to find their own happiness on their own terms, even if that means ultimately it may not involve you? Wouldn't you want your partner, someone you claim to love, to choose you because they want to, because they've chosen you. They are certain about you, instead of choosing you out of fear of being alone, of insecurity, out of guilt, out of legal or moral restrictions and rules, or just out of complacency, out of comfort, out of laziness to explore. What are we really afraid of? I would argue that what we're really afraid of is rejection, of being unloved, of being not chosen, of being alone with no relationship to validate us. Do we really care about our partner's happiness? Why do we insist that their happiness must involve us? Especially when they've expressed that they're not sure. It's one thing if they're sure about us. That's neglecting to listen to your partner's needs. And I'm trying to not get too passionate here, but the scene in episode 2 and 3 where 2 impromptu proposals happened during that process, when people saw kind of in their face their partners choosing someone else, just because that's part of the process. And both proposals, I argue, happened out of panic, not out of love.
I choose Lauren.
I'm listening to Colby choose Lauren, and it's stressing me out, because why did I come here if I'm gonna end up having fucking Big Cheese Colby live with Lauren for 3 weeks?
I choose Hunter. It's unrealistic for me to sit here and be like, oh, I'm happy for you that you had a good experience, because I don't want him living with someone else. I don't want him dating someone else. He is mine. Get your hands off of him. And
they happened out of panic of this experiment getting too real, that their partner is about to choose someone else to explore another relationship with for 3 weeks. And the person panicking is thinking, I'm threatened. And I have no faith that my partner is going to choose me again after they've had this experience with someone else. And therefore, let me put a stop to this. Let me put a stop to this happening right now by caving in and saying that I want to marry them now.
so I love him. I love Hunter.
You gave him an ultimatum, right? And I know it's upsetting, but we're all trying to be honest here. If that ultimatum were to backfire, how would that leave you feeling?
If I gave this ultimatum and he doesn't feel the same with the end, I'm gonna walk away.
Guys, I want to marry Alexis.
Lauren, are you ready to make a choice?
Yes, I am.
If Lauren chooses Colby and they end up living together for the 3 weeks, I'm shitting my pants. Will you marry me?
And what angered me most about that, I'm not here to dictate who has a relationship with who or what people should be looking for in relationships. That's your own criteria. What I'm angry about is that we're almost socially bound to applaud that, to applaud any proposal. Oh, 2 people are getting engaged. Yay, we must congratulate that.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
No, that's in this scenario, why are we applauding these, to quote April, fake ass engagements? Because it's so obvious that they're not proposing or getting married to each other out of love. It's out of desperation. It's out of desperation of, fuck, I'm gonna be alone. Fuck, this process has taught me that no one else is gonna choose me. My God, other people want my partner. My God, my partner has options, and the option might not be me. So let me choose them. Let me choose to marry based on that. And they're not choosing love. They're choosing to not die alone. They're choosing to never face rejection, to never face the music. And we have to remember, love is not just one moment of the surprise proposal or the wedding day or the honeymoon. The real stuff with love and relationship happens after all that. When it's the day-to-day, the romance and excitement is over, and no one cares that you're even together other than you two, because you have to wake up to this person every morning. You have to be the one to live with them. That should be what matters. Whether you're happy with this person on the day-to-day, when things get rough, when things get boring, is there an underlying trust and respect and friendship that makes your time together much more than just bearable? I think that real love is what April is doing. She's prepared, despite how much she loves her man and how jealous she knows she's going to get, heartbroken she might be. She's prepared to put her relationship to the test because she acknowledges that something is fundamentally not working as is. It's not like any of these relationships are in a bed of roses. That's the other ridiculous thing, that all these couples come in initially almost painting a picture that everything is great. If everything is great, you're not going to be on the show. You're not going to have to need an ultimatum. So first, acknowledge that there's a problem. April is looking to have a relationship that works in the long run. She's not looking for just moment by moment happiness and validation and avoiding to hear a possible truth that won't make her feel good. She's ready to let her man have the emotional freedom to explore his own needs, and that's because in the end she wants both of them to be happy. She wants both of them to experience real happiness and be with someone who is truly compatible with them, at the risk that that someone for her current partner might not end up being her. That is real love. That is what we should be applauding, because she loves this person so much that she's willing to sacrifice her own happiness, her own agenda, her own insecurities, and be completely vulnerable and let someone that you say you love find their own truth, their own happiness, and not chain them to yourself because you can't deal with rejection and your own demons. And I think that's an important message to get out there.
Because he straight up told me I have a connection here with somebody else. And that fucking hurts, but I trust that this is what I signed up for, and if he needs to go and explore that and we walk out here stronger, then that's what we're here for. Some of y'all here really want to get to know if your significant other is the person you're walking out of here with. Some of you really need to go through this experience to find out if that person is the person you're supposed to fucking be with. And that's why I'm here, and it's the hardest thing for me to stay here and listen to my best friend tell me that he's falling for somebody else. And that may derail this whole relationship, but I'm in here for the long run, not to half-ass it. That's if you guys aren't going to be real with yourselves, and if you're not going to go through this experience, why the fuck are you here?
So, sorry, I guess I did end up on the soapbox a little bit there, but it's just a really strong message I wanted to express. So, thanks for listening. This video was a bit different because I didn't really get time to include any personality type analysis, but if you're interested in speaking to me about finding out your personality type, learning more about yourself and your relationships, then please see contact booking details in the description box below.